So now let's discuss about what is Research Club and what do we do as of now. So oh, sorry, there's a pro tip. So one pro tip that I would like to give to you all is that start your research as early as possible in med school. Just don't be like me. I was in the middle of my fourth year when I started working on research. It was not that I was not interested in research before. I was, but most of my seniors kept saying, you don't need it. You don't have to do it. They'll teach you later on. That didn't happen. So because of pandemic and being bored in pandemic, my friends and I decided that we should start research. And those were the stepping foundations that we took towards Research Club, and also to making sure that more students in our university pursue research. So what the club does, the club actually teaches you some basics on research. It connects you with other students who are working on research. It helps you with your research. And also we discuss ideas. We can also share papers. If you feel like there's a really good published paper that you think everyone should be reading it, you can share that in our WhatsApp group. Basically, as of now, the club is a WhatsApp group club, and you can I think that is more easier to connect with one another, and we can give you information on any upcoming conferences and any upcoming programs, and also talk about the researches that we do. So do use the platform as much as possible. Discuss your ideas. When you discuss your ideas, we're able to nurture those ideas, and also we'll also be helping you on how to properly work on those ideas. So that's one of the best things. That is what has happened so far. A lot of students actually, instead of discussing openly in the club, they actually get in touch with the seniors who have already published papers. They work with them. We help in formulating their ideas and properly executing their ideas. And that has happened with so far 50 students. So what is research? Does anyone have an idea about what research is? One of you can speak, and I would love to listen and also take in the opinion of most of you into consideration on what you think research is. Anyone?
It's basically like you're analyzing what some topic is deeply about, maybe.
Okay. Anybody else?
Is it like providing new information about a certain topic?
Okay. Okay. Does anybody else want to speak?
It's testing the scientific material and money from many angles, and provide the new information.
Mm-hmm.
Creative.
That is correct. Whatever how Harsha spoke so far, Bashir spoke so far, and Yusuf spoke so far, and all three of you are actually correct. So research actually is something that we can do to change the way the science actually functions. So here are this is, I'll just share the link with you guys. I believe there's some links that you guys have to look into. Please do look into this links. They're amazing. They provide much great information than what I am talking today. So, and you'll actually get a much deeper understanding of what research is, what sort of studies are happening in research. So research is a creative and systemic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. Scientific definition of research is basically performing a methodology study to test and to prove hypothesis. Research involves collection and processing of new information and interpreting these through logic and previous knowledge and experience. In a broader way, research can be viewed as a learning process, inquiry that involves searching of knowledge by a process of establishing facts, speculating on new ideas, postulating new theories. To update expertise, research is seeking out of collection and storage of information. Um, of course, research. This is what research means, right? If we have to change the way people have an understanding about science, the impact has to be big. So we need to use a much bigger image. And if we need to create a much bigger image, I think we do definitely have to do research. So we are coming to our today's topic, which is research methodology and types. Research methodology basically means is the method that a researcher uses in investigating a research problem. One more thing, guys, if at all I'm providing any misinformation, don't hesitate, just correct me in the middle if you can. And I'm pretty sure right now, after speaking the same information over and over again, and also cross-checking it with the information that is provided by our professors and also by NCBI, this is one of the best information that we can give to you guys for sure. There are two. So basically, research methodology is the method that a researcher uses in investigating a research problem. The two main approaches to conducting research are qualitative research and quantitative research approaches. And also there, which are actually used, evaluated using mathematical and statistic techniques. So what is quantitative research? Quantitative research is research uses numerical values to test the theory of to identify a problem. This enables a researcher to measure or quantify the variables being investigated in the result of investigation. What is qualitative research? Qualitative research entitles the collection of information in the form of descriptions and the analysis of such information non-numerically. This approach is generally used to study the interaction among organizations, groups, individuals from multiple perspectives with objectives of acquiring an overall view of phenomenon of interest. I know this is a lot to grasp, but just remember that there are two primary methodologies, qualitative and quantitative. Quantitative uses numerical values, qualitative doesn't use numerical values. And there are several studies that come under both of these methodologies. So in qualitative, this is the best picture. The links that I've shared with you guys discuss about qualitative and quantitative research more in detail. So the qualitative research actually uses data as open-ended responses, interviews, observations, and field notes. It analyzes data through identifying the patterns, features, and themes. In qualitative, you do find narrative reports, case series, reviews. In quantitative, you find it actually uses a large number of cases representing the population of interest. It's based on precise measurements using structured and validated data collection instruments. It uses statistical values, statistical report with correlation, comparison of means, statistical significance of findings. Usually you see qualitative data being more used in a lot of original studies where a large sample size is required. Okay, since I think, just let me see, I think, who is here? I think, no, none of you who have attended. Okay, guys, can someone give me an example of a statistical value for quantitative methodology? I'm sure some of you actually attended our research club sessions in February. No one? Okay, statistical value. I am sure a lot of you actually read research papers, right? I'm pretty sure when you read research papers, you do see sometimes values explained in numericals, like CI is equal to 95%, or p-value is equal to 0.0005%, something like that. So those are statistical values, and you see them most of the times in original papers. You will understand more about statistical values when you come into epidemiology topic. I am sure that particular topic will be covered next semester, because we are still trying to understand about statistics much more in detail ourselves, and that is one drawback that we have in our university, or among ourselves. We are still trying to understand how to do statistical analysis properly because of limited data. So types of research. So in principle, medical research is classified into primary and secondary research. While secondary research summarizes available studies in the form of reviews, meta-analysis, the actual studies are performed in primary research. The three main areas are distinguished in basic medical research, clinical research, epidemiological research. In individual cases, it may be difficult to classify individual studies to one of those three main categories or subcategories. So this is a picture. We have medical research divided into two branches, primary, secondary. Secondary are all reviews. In primary research, we have basic research, clinical research, epidemiological research. This is where you see in primary research is mostly quantitative research. This is where you find a lot of statistical values being used. Basic research, again, you have theoretical, applied. In clinical research, you have experimental, observational. For epidemiological research, you have experimental and again observational. And these are the several types that are actually used. In our university, as of now, we do epidemiological research, and that is mostly cross-sectional studies and case-controlled studies. You can look up to some of the studies published by our students, and you can understand that very well. I hope that is easy for all of you to understand. Whatever information that we have discussed so far is easy to understand. Okay, this is it. So as of now, we're done. But the links that I've shared with you guys discuss more about these types of research in detail. Do read them. If you have any doubt, do get back to us. I am sorry, someone. Yes, actually, the recording of this session will be shared with you. I'll share it to you all by tonight. Now let's discuss about what research newsletters and why we need them. So research newsletters, let's be honest. How many of you have time to read a full article of a published paper? Please share in the chat box. Does anyone have time to read a full text article? I believe no, because a full text article is actually a research paper of 10, 15 or more pages. And to reach each and every line is actually very difficult. I think everyone can agree with me. Exactly. Saiti is exactly correct. We don't really have a lot of time to read every information provided in a research paper, but we do look into the most important topics. So that is when newsletters come. Since we don't have time, subscribing to such newsletters, they'll actually provide you the latest information available in that particular area or specialty, and they actually provide you shorter summaries of those research papers. If at all you like that summary, you can actually check the full article and try to understand that paper more in detail. Let me show you this. So these are actually just two newsletters that we all know so far. And by the way, watch out for the student faculty in our university too. We are actually planning to provide you guys with a research newsletter in the next few months, and we will reach out to you for team members, and you can contact us if you feel like you're interested in newsletters. Being a part of a newsletter team, I believe we're planning to issue our first newsletter in the month of September, and to look up to us and also support us. So the lens and the skin in depth are actually two newsletters that I actually know right now. And I actually got to know about the lens through a Harvard article published on one of the co-founders of this newsletter. What they do is they provide you the latest information on research that has been done in ophthalmology. In case you're interested in ophthalmology, do sign up to them. And even if you're not, just sign up to them. For me, I'm not interested in ophthalmology, but I did sign up. Signing up and reading their summaries actually helped me actually helped me to get comfortable with ophthalmology. I'm more comfortable talking about those topics now. Initially, I wasn't. I'm very scared of ophthalmology. And if you're interested in dermatology, you can look up to Skin Depth. They just recently started. This is their 7th issue. And they're also providing some amazing information on dermatology. In case you're interested in dermatology, do sign up to these newsletters. And the links of both of these newsletters is provided to you guys in the chat box to check it out. Now let's do one thing. Let's search some articles on COVID. One tip, guys. So there's a lot of scope in research happening right now in regards to COVID. Working on COVID right now is a great chance to get your papers published. Actually, you get a lot of information, and every day there's some or the other new article which is being published about COVID on different aspects. Take an example for me. My research scope right now is to study the effect of COVID-19 infection on our skin. I studied last year I studied about the symptoms that are skin symptoms that are available that are visible in COVID patients, and now I'm studying the skin symptoms or the skin signs that are visible in patients who have had COVID. So there's a lot of scope happening in COVID, and there are different areas, different subtopics that you can work on in COVID. And let's look into some articles. Now, since many of you are new, I'm sure a lot of you have trouble to search articles. Guys, by the way, PubMed, Google Scholar are the best search databases to search for articles and to read articles. And most of the times you get a lot of free articles available on it. So do use them as much as you can. You don't really, if you're using PubMed and Google Scholar to your fullest abilities, you don't have to rely on other search databases. And let's see, can someone suggest me a keyword related to COVID? Sahiti, maybe you can suggest me some other keyword. Wait, what?
Omicron, yeah.
Okay. And one more keyword, please. Let's
Maybe
say
a particular
Variant.
place or a state or a
What?
city. Maybe a particular city.
Okay, cool. Omicron in, let's say, India. Okay, so you see this, there's a toolbox available, the filter box, which is available to your left, and you can customize the articles that you want to search for. We use a keyword called COVID-19 Omicron in India. There are 86 articles, but are these 86 articles full text articles? I don't think so. So let's search for free full text. And you see there are only 56 articles. And you see there's a lot of the new information available from paper to paper. And one thing, guys, you can always work on similar topics, but make sure that there's something unique about your study. You should always provide some new information in your studies as much as you can. If you're not able to provide new information, then provide a newer perspective, or prove that the previous studies that have been done so far are actually correct. Let's see. Let's just check one. The emergence of Omicron, challenging times. Here we go again. So this is how towards your right, you actually get the link for full text article. So first, before you know this is an article that you want to read full text, read in detail, always look into the title. If you like, then look into the abstract, read the abstract. If you think you like it, and then check for the full text article. Read that in detail. And how do you read that? You don't have to now read the abstract. So, and trust me, you don't even have to, because we all know a lot about the origins of the virus right now and the origins of Omicron as well. You don't really have to read the overview or the introduction, right? So you can just straight ahead go to, okay, this is the discussion. I am sorry, this is, okay. You can straight ahead go to the summarize tables or discussions to understand more in detail. Since this is a review paper, they're actually providing the information right from right with an overview. So you can skim this part, the origin and the spread of Omicron. Virology, if you already know it, transmissibility, you can skip that part. But if you want to learn more about the complications, you can look into that. Looking into tables like this provides you a much detailed information, and they also provide you the links of that particular article that they're discussing about. You can check that and read more. If you really want to look into more information on that particular point, you can check that in detail. This is it. And also look into the conclusions. And that's it. References always, if you think this is an interesting paper, do read, look into the links that they provide you in the references. They will also provide you much detailed information. That's it. Let's search for one more paper. I think now I will love another new keyword for COVID. Anyone?
Mental health, effect of COVID on mental health.
Something related to PCR.
Okay, effect of, okay, let's see. Effect of PCR on mental health in pandemic. Is this good? Effect of PCR on mental health in pandemic. Let's just search that way. And we'll also search for more articles later on. Oh, wow, you have 16 articles. So you can look into that more in detail. You see there is one article talking about evidence of mood and cognitive impairment. There's, I don't think anyone will actually discuss about the effect of PCR, but let's check. So you see, they'll actually give you the list of articles available, and you can always check into the first article is always the best article to look forward into, because they pretty much would have used the same links of the articles that are available here. So you can read it more in detail. And let's search for one more. Again, related to COVID, please, guys. Anyone?
Spread of COVID-19 variant.
I'm sorry, what?
COVID-19 variants.
Okay, COVID-19 variants are not COVID-19 variants are, okay, let's search for that. Variants, okay. Now your filter actually changed. So see, you have much more articles available here from, oh, we're running out of time, okay. So you can customize this in the filter section. I want to search for articles from 2020 to 2022, free text. And now again, we have more than 6,500 results available, and you can check those more in detail. Most of the times when they're talking about variants and vaccines, it's probably review papers. So you can all, again, customize the articles that you want to search for here again. Let's say, I think this one, variants, okay. This first paper, if you like the abstract, again, read the abstract. Sometimes you also get the figures. Look into the figures as well. if you like the abstract, you think this particular abstract is going to provide you information that you need, then you can check the full text. Let's check the full text. Okay. This is a review paper. Okay, they're talking more about introduction. Now, this is where you actually, if at all, because this is a review paper, and this was published in 2021 July. I don't think they've discussed more about Omicron, but they've surely discussed about other variants. And this is a paper which is providing detailed information on those variants. So you can read every information that is available in this paper. You can look into the figures. You can look into the pathophysiology. A lot of pathophysiology is not often discussed in detail. You can look into that. And you can also look into the tabular informations, which is actually really good. Looking into these tables will give you a brief information about what the paper is discussing. That's it, guys. I think our time is up. So one thing, as I said, there's a lot of scope in COVID. So do work on it. Always look for PubMed and Google. One more thing, right now for the next few years, studying the post-sequel of COVID-19 is actually a great area to work on for research. So that's it. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. In case you have any doubts, do put up your questions in the chat box, and do sign up to those 2 newsletters that I've provided the links for. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice Sunday.